Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to ETF2L Season 38 Premiership Week 5. This has been a bloodbath in Prem so far this season, and we've got another one coming right up for you. It's Ora Elektro versus Feint Gaming. I am Beater. We've got Harris on production. He did great last time, so show him some love again. And, of course, then we've got Lucky co-casting with him tonight. How are you doing, Lucky?
I'm doing pretty well, dude. I've had a good week so far, even though it's only Tuesday. I'm kind of jinxing it now.
That was a real jinx.
Yeah, it's been good for the last 2 days, and now I'm ready for it to go rapidly downhill. How are you, Peter?
I'm doing good. I'm really looking forward to this because Prem has just been so unpredictable this season. Like Ora Elektro, I'd say they've kind of lived up to what I expected out of them, but then Feint Gaming have just tied with everyone. Like literally everyone except for Bus Crew. It's the only one they've beaten. But everyone else they've just tied with, so I have no idea what to expect, and it's really interesting. But I guess we can throw up the roster real quick here for Feint Gaming, and we can go through those guys. So, because I feel like there's a very weird thing that's happening, which is Yeehaw not just murdering everyone, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely concur with that. I mean, Voxy's kind of been picking up the slack of Yeehaw recently. In most of the games that you watch, it's less about Yeehaw being that massive DM factor that he used to be before, and now Voxy is kind of taking that role in the team as scout murdering machine.
Yeah, it's quite odd because like Yeehaw was always like the roaming scout, and it just didn't matter. He just ran in behind lines and killed everyone. So I don't know if people have just adjusted to it really well. Like everyone just know that whenever a soldier's coming in, like Yeehaw is gonna follow, right? And so they've just gotten used to that, and now they can shut that down just as easily as they could a double soldier bomb. But yeah, we got Voxy on the pocket scout. Then we got Opti on roamer. We got Hugo on pockets with the fat 300 perfect DPM. Love to see that. Oh. We got Mac on demo man, and we've got Vanny on medic. So pretty much the same roster that they've been using for how many seasons now? Like, is it 3? Is it 4?
3. Yeah. 3 seasons-ish. I think the big standout players on this team, for me, are Hugo and Opti. These two soldiers, just, oh my god, dude. It's so beautiful to watch them play. Hugo's really come up in the last couple of seasons as well. Like, he went from being a soldier where I thought, it's a bit of a weird pickup for Feint Gaming, but then I watched a bunch of their games. Holy crap, this guy destroys. He does so much work for his team, space creating, etc. And Opti on Roma, this man he gets in places you do not want him in. He is just always in the flank, always dropping your medic, getting those sick bombs off, finding the kills on mid-fights. He's that do-it-all Roma that you look for in a team.
Yeah, and we should actually go over the Ora Elektro roster as well pretty quickly because they're actually threatening to start on time. It's kind of crazy, so we kind of have to hurry through.
Oh, God!
Yeah, I know. This is so unusual. I don't know what to do. We got Juxta on medic. I think this is the first season in Prem. And then we got Eames on demo man. He's got the nice 300 DPM as well, and he is known for just bringing in new players and grooming them into a really solid team.
I wouldn't use that word, Pete.
Okay, fine. Dude, just because I say grooming doesn't mean it's some weird sexual thing, okay? It can be used in other contexts. But then we got Asunas, who would just refer to as the ultimate like flank soldier, where he will just go behind with the pain train and then backcap you, and it's going to be so annoying to deal with every time. And then we got Ron's on soldier, on pocket. He has been very, very strong. He kind of reminds me of Amarok when he first got into Prem. And which is cool because Amarok is also on this team. He's kind of been beasting on scout. Along with Neva, you can see those scouts have really high kills to death ratios.
Yeah, I think Ron's has just been incredible, and Juxta. Juxta has super good movement. It's so nice to watch Juxta play in Prem. He is just an absolute beholder of a medic. He does just pirouettes I've never seen before, and Ron's is just, he's like a baby Amarok, like you mentioned, but he's more like, I feel like he's going to be like the next Nubby, you know? He's going to shoot up Prem, be up there in no time at all. He's just kind of, he's that guy that just seems to find frags. Again, like, he's very consistent as well. I'd say he is the most consistent Roma I've seen in a while. He seems to always find the frags that you need and when you need them. Like on a demo man, for example, he will call his bomb, he'll go for it, and he'll always find that demo pick. He rarely fails. But coming into these maps, has to be said, product against Yeehaw, kind of rough.
Yeah, I feel like it's worth taking in that I feel like once we get the product week over with, Yeehaw stats are going to look a lot better. That's just a general feeling I have. Probably all scout that goes for them, but especially Yeehaw, I think his stats are going to look a whole lot better once I get them entered into the system after this match is over, because this is usually the map where he just takes over and does so much damage. So I would absolutely look out for that. But it is kind of interesting if you just look at the stats. It actually kind of favors the Ora Elektro scouts, and that's a big deal. And especially after they changed the soldier gunboat nerf thingy, it's actually we see a lot less sniper, so that's a lot less of a factor these days.
I'm so confused about these T-posing players. Voxy's just killed both of them in a brutal rage, but we had two players T-posing on the point there. It looked incredible. T-pose to mid, anyone? Says Azunis in chat. So all kind of ready for that, as we are actually getting ready. Both teams are ready to go. We're going to be heading into our first mid here of this week that we're going into for the product week. So good luck, have fun to both teams. Ora Elektro versus Fake Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome if you just joined us. Eames is making his way in nice and slow. Mac is doing exactly the same. No fast rollouts here from either demo man. Both soldiers playing kind of passively on the high ground here. We have got a flank bust already from Nevo. It looks like he's going to be heading on the flank. Soldiers now bombing over onto Juxta. And sorry, Vanny even. They find that kill immediately. Azunis and Amrock also going down for their troubles. Just retreating back to their medic now, keeping Juxta alive in that corner, just sticking off all the relevant angles. But Hugo is currently still at large. Could be looking for a bomb, but they're going to play passive, get this cap through, and they're just going to back off.
Yeah, or Elektro, they're just cocooning around their medic. They just want to make sure that they don't get flanked. But there is actually a soldier in the skybox about to land on him, and he gets him perfectly. Wow, Hugo. I don't know how he ended up that high, but he just timed that perfectly and just sync bombed the hell out of that medic. Really nice job. That's going to save that this whole round for them for quite a while now. You can see just waiting to cap it out, I think, in order to get the medic back, and there we go. Now they're going to cap it out. Soda jumps in. Sees he can get the medic. Then he's in the skybox, and he gets taken down. So this is not a safe game for medics so far, as Juxta actually going to eat a pipe and be super weak himself.
Yeah, they didn't do a very good job of protecting Vanny there. Vanny did have to arrow Voxy, so he didn't have the beam out and wasn't looking up to see the soldier, so kind of an unfortunate position there for Vanny. You want to be arrowing as little as possible on product. The more beam you can do, the better, because it allows you to look at the enemy team while you're playing medic. So big tips there for anyone that's playing product as med. But looks like we've got bombs coming in. Opti's going in towards Juxta, but Juxta surfs that one off nicely, and they're going to get the cap through on this point here. And they're going to go for a forward hold here, it looks like.
Yeah, we actually have this relatively rare thing on Viaduct where one team has an Uber advantage over the other. It's actually kind of rare. Usually both teams tend to get the Uber at the same time, but right now it's like perfectly 50% spaced apart. So that's going to be a thing. Actually, Yeehaw's going to come out here with the pyro, create some space for his soldiers. They're going to jump in very aggressively, pushes everyone back. Evo is actually lucky to survive. Hugo is still in. Nice surfs there coming out from Juxta. And there's even another soldier there, but yeah, he actually managed to dodge that really well. It was kind of a suicide sack in here, so not a fail push in any way. And they're going to have really quick respawners now, and they're going to be able to come in here for free. They pushed everyone back. They're going to get into mid for free. And now we just have like a regular old full Uber on Uber fight on our hands.
Going to be taking this battle in the bottom left corner, it looks like, from Mac. They are getting that edge cap through, but the soldier's going to be there spamming the scout to the point. They are going to go to take an Uber trade here. They actually dropped Eames out of the trade, unfortunately. Amrock is running forwards, but without a demo man there's not a lot of pressure coming out. So just needs to heal up these scouts to get ready to counter-aggress on this point. The cap is about to go through for the blue team, just getting as much cap time as possible. They find 2 picks onto Eames and Nevo during all of that. Get the capture back. 30 seconds difference on the clock.
I love how they played around once they got the Eames pick. They just played around super passively and made sure that they couldn't get jumped. Like, it was really, they were just waiting for people to sort of cross the invisible line, and then the soldiers would jump them, and then when they retreated back behind them, the soldiers would just go back out and they would just wait and cap it out. So Ubers are now actually even, very even-ish, and you see Feint, they don't want to give up this point here, but Hugo's actually in very deep. You see he's looking for the mech, actually does find him, but unable to get a proper rocket onto him there, so still a lot of just chaos going on, but actually Juxta has the slight Uber advantage here. I don't know if they know about it though.
I doubt they know about it. I mean, both medics survived that last engagement, so they're just going to be chilling out here, probably taking heals. Amrock, in fact, going down there, overextending. Not in the beam range of Juxta there. Like, moving around the rock is kind of a dangerous thing to do as scout on this. And also Nevo catching a pipe now. They're going to have to back off. And these soldiers are going to take advantage of this now. They're going to move forwards. They can afford to send some stacks on the blue team side. But maybe just going to be opting to get their soldiers forward up on the left-hand side and just relaxing here for both sides here. 1 minute remaining for the blue team on the clock currently as they're trying to regress from this lower area, but to little to no avail. They have got a pretty solid hold on the side of Feint Gaming.
Yeah, they've done a really good job of just denying the point pressure coming in here. As the Uber comes in, Van is going to pop significantly later, and it's just a matter of how quickly Jux is able to run out. It looks like he is able to get really far back in a timely manner here. And now it's just going to be the re-push, but it hasn't really gone very well. As went in a little bit early compared to the rest of his team, and now his team are just looking so strong. There's a soldier behind lines, actually gets onto the demo man. Mac is in danger of dying, but he doesn't die, and this pressure is not looking very good for Ora Elektro. Feint, they have shown themselves to be very good at playing this product now.
Yeah, they seem to be having a heal advantage quite a lot of the time as well. It looks like Azunas and Nevo going down now, and the flank is coming through from Yeehor into this demo man. Whiffs each and every shot that he fires, but Hugo's there to kill him anyway. So that's that pick that found it in the bag as they pick up the demo man on the red side, which is exactly what you want here if you're going to be trying to deny this point pressure. But Jux has been doing a really good job of building up to 90% Uber. They have got a little bit of cap time, so they've got a couple seconds grace here as the cap goes backwards. Overtime is through. They're trying to spell those players off the point. Nice flank through from Opti, denying all of those players. Big damage to get this Uber out, but they need to take it off right now or they lose. And then they lose.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, man. It's sort of like you can either cap and die, or you can not cap and lose. So it's sort of a rock and a hard place situation there. But Feint did a really good job of just like winning in a sustained fight, where you see Ora Elektro, they were trying to sort of edge out the point to lure people forward, but it wasn't really working. And then, like, as soon as it was just slightly overextended, then they would have an advantage there. But we are into another mid fight. We already have 2 soldier guidelines, and they get a medic for it.
This start off from the side of Ora Elektro has been amazing in both of the starts to this game that we've had. Looks like Jux is getting run down here by the scouts, and they're also getting crushed in the corner here. Eames just had nothing loaded and couldn't help out. Amrock just gets cleaned up as well. These 2 scouts going absolutely ham. Rons goes in for the bomb. Once again, the double scout combo just taken down into a 1v1 now on the point. Yeehor could go for it, not opting for it, in fact. Just going to go back for the soldier, who has now spotted him out, and he's in a very
he's going for the demo man instead. That's so sneaky. Ooh, he did a good job there. He did 160, but not quite enough. But hopefully the rest of his team are able to hold on here. It's going to be a tall order as they are down the scout, and there's a lot of time onto the point. Yeah, they're just going to give it up. That was just some token spam just to kind of feel like they didn't give it up for free. So a little bit unfortunate there for Yeehaw that he was unable to come in and take the 1v1 with the scout, because that's usually where you would favor Yeehaw over any other. But once again, we have an Ora Elektro soldier behind lines as everyone else just ignored him and gone forward. But he's onto the medic now, and just the double soldier bomb is just so efficient at taking down the medic. Juxta himself is not very safe though. Yeehaw will eventually end up taking him down, and just eventually it's just going to be everyone but scouts just melting.
Yeah, oh my god, Opti, what the hell was that? That was incredible from him, just air-shotting Azunas out the sky. But I was going to mention prior to that Yeehor is just doing such a good job of getting onto Juxta. Like, he's using the chaos to his advantage to slip in behind and just get the frag that they need every time onto this medic, nullifying the Uber advantage that they had and the heal advantage, and just getting player out instead. So doing a really good job of abusing the soldier bombs and the space that's being created by Hugo and co.
Currently, you can see Vanny has the slight Uber advantage, so that might come into play here. But Ora Elektro, once again, they're trying to come in here and just pressure out the point, but they're not having very good success with it. Hugo trying to look for the medic. You can see Juxta desperately running around up top. I don't think he's actually been spotted. Actually, he's going to get the soldier kill. And somehow Juxta managed to just worm his way out of that. But you can really see whenever Ora Elektro try to put pressure on the point, they just end up dying, like just bleeding players. And it's really unfortunate for them. And Juxta was not healing for quite a long time there as he was just escaping. So it's actually a pretty significant advantage here for Vanny. So Juxta, he needs to be a little bit careful. If he goes too far forward, he just gets popped on and dies.
Yeah, it's another one of those advantages though where you don't really know if it exists or not if you're Vanny, because you're standing so far back, you might not be able to call it, and amongst the chaos that happens, you know, they actually get the super, but they pop behind the rocks, so not really much space being taken here before Vanny has to use out, and he's got a much better Uber. Juxta here is going to get absolutely nuked, and nothing else is going to happen. They're just going to retreat their medic back to the point, kill these players that try to go in behind, and now the rest of Ora Elektro are just going to try and sack in for this med. Trying to get on top of Vanny, but they can't do anything against these scouts. Voxy just cleans them all up. Currently on a 4k for Voxy here. Eames also going down as Opti picks up that frag, and now they're going to get into a forward hold.
Yep, full wipe there. This is the best time to do a forward hold. You obviously got the two soldiers on the left and the demo man on right. At least that's what you normally see. Kind of see the demo man on the left side as well. Kind of just giving up the right side. It's just only Yeehaw there. That's actually a very interesting forward hold. As we have a pause, which is the perfect time because now we can get to talk about it. You can see the Ora Elektro they're currently trying to push up with the pyro, but it feels like they just on feint they suspected that they were going to not go for the right side because that's where the demo man holds anyway, right? So they just ignored that, only put a scout there, and then they actually have Eames helping out, or sorry, having Mac helping out over on the left side, and that can juggle things really heavily, and the pyro can't really air blast Steez away in the same way that he can with rockets. So that's actually a really big brain play there from Mac, just rotating over preemptively.
Yeah, as long as Mac doesn't swap onto his Iron Bomber and shoot an Iron Bomber into this pyro's face, he just reflects it and kills his med, we're all good, okay? Just 5 stickies, and they'll be fine. But Hugo here, I think Hugo's going to be the X factor in this. He's holding on the low ground. As soon as this pyro comes through, it's going to get called. Hugo's going to bomb over the pyro's head and maybe land on top of Eames or Juxta coming through that doorway. So Hugo could be the X factor here and getting the pick that they want. I think Yeehaw he's not going to get contested at all. It's actually, do you see the fight happening? Hugo's bombing over the top in towards Juxta. Actually gets juggled there by Eames. But it looks like repause. They did manage to get their soldiers in and decent damage onto Vanny. Ron's has fired a rocket.
Oh man.
Oh, it misses!
He dodged it.
Oh, very nicely done there from Vanny. Also, Eames bombing in here. Does get the pipe on Vanny, but not enough damage to get the frag.
Vanny is so weak, but he is not dead, and that's the only thing that matters as medic. Like, weak is good. Weak is alive. And Juxta crucially died during that. I didn't actually see how that happened, but he was a bit too aggressive there, and the flank came in, and he died. So now Vanny's going to have this full Uber advantage, and they lost the forward hold, but that was definitely worth it because Vanny just somehow kept surviving. And oh, they're actually just going to pop in here. The sort of pressure was just enough for them to pop, and yeah, Juxta, he's way back.
This is fine, because Eames is going to be dead. There's 15 seconds remaining on the clock. I can't see the clock anymore. 30 seconds remaining on the clock, even. So it looks like they are going to be able to hold this for a little bit longer. Juxta's going to really struggle to get his supercharge now in the time it takes for the rest of the cap to go through. So they need to build this really hard and fast now if they're going to have any hope of retaking. But Hugo bombing into the corner on top of Juxta. Juxta goes down, and now the hopes and dreams of Ora Elektro are in the toilet.
Yeah, Opti just did the perfect follow-up there. Like, the Hugo bomb did okay, but then, yeah, Opti just finished off the job really well there. And that's going to be that. They're not even going to get close to the point. Ora Elektro just desperately caught in the corner, getting bombed by soldiers. That's not where they wanted to fight. And this is where we have the pause, it looks like. So it was kind of mid, or like a post-round, pre-round thing. So that's nice. You don't want to have like a medic drop in the middle of something. So that's going to be 2-0 here in favor of feint. They win one more, they win this map, and they get 3 points.
So we saw the multitude of pauses come in, Ora Elektro calling for that pause. I guess trying to get their heads in the game a little bit more. They're getting really aggressive now, and whatever that pause did seems to have worked out until Juxta's been surrounded and murdered at least, and they seem to lose everyone here. Amrock here, just getting mega out to the end by Voxy here, and he's going to eventually get cleaned up there, and they are able to win out this mid.
Indeed. Only real silver lining there was that they managed to get onto Vanny as well. It's been definitely a theme so far. Oh, we have a soldier trying to hide. Pretty sneaky there from Hugo. Unfortunately, Eames pipes just lock onto him instantly and takes him down. But yeah, it's even Ubers, and you know, Hugo going down is actually a pretty big deal. That means that the Ora Elektro have the man advantage, so they're going to get this midpoint for, I don't want to say free, but pretty easily compared to what you would normally have. As Opti's actually getting rushed down pretty heavily. He's going to jump out, and there we go. As soon as he actually gets baited into a scout.
That's not what you want. You don't want to lose a soldier by overextending over the point there, because now it opens up this flank, and Hugo's managed to get him behind. Obviously did bomb in, but didn't manage to get him. But Nevo's doing such a good job here. Gets on top of Hugo, manages to clean him up eventually. But the rest of the blue team have managed to get all the way forwards now, so it's just Eames left alive against Yeehaw. He just needs to layer these stickies out, and also the soldier respawner coming in with Zunis eventually on the backside of this fight. And they are going to be able to bomb in here on top of Vanny, but maybe overextending here. Zunis getting weak again, does need an arrow there, just receives it. And they are able to defend this point. Granted, there is a lot of cap time down, so Voxy just edges it and gets it right from under their noses. And now Ora Elektro in a difficult situation where it's even Ubers and that they need to get this point back.
Yeah, it's always difficult because at the very least you can always delay it for 10 seconds with the Uber. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Just take another Uber exchange. And Eames goes down again. Eames has been dropped from several Ubers so far this game. It's very frustrating for him. Hugo is behind as well, just being an absolute nuisance. But let's see what he can actually do. Okay, he said nobody even saw him and he was just already out. Vanny, he's been rushed down and just teamed up on.
Daily reminder, Voxy's on 5 dominations currently.
Oh,
this
no.
man is destroying. He's looking for a 6th. I don't know who he's not dominating, but he needs to die eventually. There you go, there's one revenge at least.
Yeah, the ground got him eventually. That's the only thing that could possibly kill him. That's
flaw.
Yeah. There we go. Have Eames desperately trying to take down the scout, but yeah, eventually the chip damage is too much. So Voxex, he's got 2 more dominations to work for now instead of the 1 that he had before. That's unfortunate, but hey, it's always possible for a scout to do this. Hugo, oh no, sorry, that's Opti. Ooh, actually misses the air shot onto the medic.
Oh, Juxta! Oh, unfortunate. Yeehor runs over to the side there. Opti only just missing out on that shot, but the scout coming to clean it up once again. They're doing such a good job of finding Juxta in this corner. Like, they bomb their soldiers in and then flank their scout in at exactly the right time every single time. But now they've got these long respawns on the side of Feint Gaming, but I think they're more than happy to play with these considering the position they're currently holding on this cliff. Really easy to defend against those soldiers! The anti-air cannon of Mac just activates, and that soldier is nullified.
Incredible. Hugo's in already. He's going to bounce Nevo up, and actually he's going to get taken down. So currently Opti is actually flanking in behind. I don't know if his soldier saw him in spawn, but he is in behind. Okay, he's going to get traded out by a scout at the end there, but he was looking for the medic indeed. But Vanny, he now has his full Uber, but Mac actually gets dropped here. Hugo gets air shot as well. He gets cratered, gets dropped from Uber. Vanny unable to catch him, so it's just going to be the chariot scout Uber here coming in, but unable to find the target that they really wanted.
As soon as just flies in and crushes with that bomb. Oh my god, that was incredible from him. But they're going to be delaying here. Very, very good stuff from the side of Ora Elektro. Delaying for their respawners here as they get all of their respawners up, which means they're going to be able to hold this point a lot easier. But 20 seconds remaining for the side of Feint Gaming. I mean, it's just one push and it's lights out. Ora Elektro here need to make a substantial hold. They do have full Uber. If I was the side of Feint Gaming, I would just sack wave. So it looks like they are going to be sending players in, but Vanny is fully committed already, so they're going to be moving in towards this point. Voxy's already edging the cap though, nearly gets the cap through. Looks like the bombs come out as the Uber charge is used. Eames going to be bombing, trying to find Vanny, but Vanny is just all the way out of there. They pick up everyone else, but now they're in a situation where they've got Uber Discard, tons of caps on down. If they pick up
almost everyone else.
Oh!
Juxta's gonna just thank his lucky star there that Yeehaw was unable to get him. You know, they thought everyone was down, but Yeehaw was still lurking. And once again, looks like we're going to have a sold in very aggressively. This time around, it's going to be both of them. And somehow, I don't even know if that was an air shot or if he just hit someone himself and killed himself. But Nevo is actually behind, and nobody suspects this.
Oh no, this flank could be insane from Nevo here. No soldiers on the other side though. However, Nevo is coming in behind on Vanny as the pressure comes forwards in towards Juxta. Nevo is chasing Vanny around the point, does pick up the frag, and that is exactly what Ora need. But it looks like Mac is going to be heading in towards the point, wants to finish it up just so he can get more caps on down. Eventually he's going to leave it because the soldier pressure is there. Nice direct there onto Yeehor just to push him away from Azunis. Eventually getting cleaned up there. It's now that both scouts are dominating him, but we'll ignore that fact. But the clock is ticking down, and Ora Elektro somehow we're going to hold this. Juxta's up to 93% Uber. He's going to get this beta as Feint Gaming, one last scramble to get to the point. Not enough caps on is down. They didn't get on it. It's a slither away, but Mac has to jump out here. If he dies, it could be lights out. They get on top of Vanny. They pin him in a corner and take him out. Opti there. Going to be bombing in as well on the right-hand side, but Nevo with a massive deny. Eames eventually getting cleaned up by Yeehor. Looks like the heal advantage is towards Nevo, but Mac's going to be walking in here, layering up these stickies. 9 seconds remaining on the clock. Feint Gaming just opting not to cap out this point for whatever reason, but looks like the cap is about to go through. They're going to be delaying for their remaining players. They get the cap. Hugo's still in the respawner, and Juxta did eventually die, but Amrock's going to be retreating out this mid.
Yeah, they don't end up delaying for Hugo there. They got a little bit antsy. They got a little bit afraid. There was just too much pressure going on. So there's only 1 second on the clock now for Ora Elektro. So if they just cap it out, this is over. Like, the round is over, and then they actually have a chance in this. They just need to recap. They're going to send Ronson onto the medic really aggressively. Actually doesn't get him. Juxta is somehow super weak as well, but not dead, crucially. But looks like the rest of the team has just melted before him. And that's probably going to be that here. So the time is just running out. And there we go.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a clean 3-0, but some pretty damn close rounds to actually get there.
Yeah, I mean, Fate Gaming, they just showed why they had the full DM potential behind them, you know. They just straight up out DM them. Voxy and Gihor scored above Vanny on the scoreboard. So that, like, good lord. Voxy had a field day in this match. No one could counter him. He wasn't getting pinged off by stickies. Eames had a really rough job trying to fight into him. And I reckon it will be reflected in the logs here, Beta.
Yeah, almost certainly. And oh boy, yeah. All right. Actually, Mac did out damage them, so good job on that. And we'll give him credit. But Voxtech went 32-9, and had over 400 DPM, and then Yeehaw with a measly 26-10, having 350 DPM. So yeah, just absolute show of force there for the two Faint Scouts. It's really good job by them. And hey, Voxtech, he usually kind of plays the pocket roll really well, and then he doesn't do that much damage, but he has really been getting after it this season. It's wonderful to see just how good he is.
He's been doing a lot of Chad Ubers as well, I think. He's been taking these Ubers in, always finding kills on the Ubers, and it's beautiful to see. He just gets right up in their faces and takes them down, and his aim is just so consistent, and he just seems to be doing such a good job this season. Put him on a map like Product, and he'll just suddenly activate, so very nicely done from the side of Feint Gaming. In terms of logs, I mean, you can see it on the other side. The medic deaths were close. I think Juxta did a good job of surviving a lot of situations. Imagine to get a nice bunch of surfs off, but I mean, there's not a lot you can do when Azunas gets picked up 25 times and the spam pressure just isn't there to counteract the point play.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but it kind of felt like Soldier was different than normal. Like, it felt like they were just heat-seeking missiles, this map. Like, they were just so aggressively just jumping into people, and I suspect it all comes down to the whole gunboat buff, but still, it just... like, I know their stats are not that pretty to look at, right? But I really feel like the Soldiers did a great job. I kind of wonder how many medic kills they have individually.
Opti and Hugo just did massive amounts of work in that game for space creating, just so Voxy and Yeehawk could have their field day. And Mac also was just tagging the scouts of Ora Elektro every chance he got, just to soften them up, so the soldiers had an even better chance of getting in on the fights. So I've got a hand to Mac there, really good space creating from him as well, just with the damage that he dealt during that game. I really have nothing else to say, because we're moving on to our next map already.
Yeah, it's going to be really great. Also, just one final note on Mac. He was usually the one actually kind of punishing the overextenders whenever Ora Elektro were trying to put pressure onto the point, like just etch it out. And yeah, gotta give credit for that. That actually requires you to hit some really nice pipes, and he did that. So it's really punishing. But we are moving on to Snakewater, which is a map that I'm very interested in seeing, because last week we saw Feint Gaming against Top 5 Rocket, and that was Gullywash and Product. And now it's a Product and Snakewater, and Top 5 Rocket murdered Feint on Gullywash. Like, it was not close. And then Feint just destroyed Top 5 Rocket on Viaduct. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe Feint Gaming are just really disproportionately good on Viaduct, or did they just have a really bad game on Gullywash?
I would not be able to really comment. I feel like Feint Gaming are still pretty convincing when it comes to playing normal 5CP maps, but I feel like Ora Elektro, this is going to be more their ballpark, for almost certain. They're going to play a lot better in this game. I don't think that they are particularly a DM-heavy team. Their scouts, to me, don't scream DM Lords, but when it comes to these normal 5CP maps, Eames has the strategies. He has the main calls. He's got the cojones to beat Feint Gaming, in my opinion, at least. Like, I feel like they definitely have something in them that makes them a lot stronger on 5CP.
Yeah, they're a very tactical team, and just 5CP has a much higher depth, I feel like strategically, than 5CP does. So that's
heavy fist fight.
Oh boy, get in there, Harris. Make sure you don't miss it. We've got a heavy fist fight coming. I'm pretty sure.
They've got to roll out though, because there's no DM.
Oh, no. The heavy roller, it's so painfully slow.
You could do like a WWE intro for this heavy walk into mid.
Yeah. If you have any epic music, please.
Please just put it on.
Wait, he's oh, that's Amarok. He's T-posing as Pyro. Okay. It's like, what's going on here? It's All right, Yeehaw wins the rollout battle. That's how you win it, right? You get to mid first as heavy.
Yeah, I think Nevo is on. Nevo is now on his way. Surely Yeehaw has an advantage. He's got a metal arm.
Dude, just look at that T-pose power. That's like some cursed shit. Oh, and he actually got taunt killed. Like, I was just thinking, like, just having like the antlers T-posing above you, like that has to be one of the worst things. All right. Okay. So who do you think is gonna win this heavy fist fight?
Nevo, he's put the Rocky music on. Apparently, he's written in chat.
All right. That's all I need.
All right, here we go. The heavy fist fight is about to take place here. Miniguns are banned, and they are doing this to decide who plays on what color. The countdown clock is there. Nevo's called the clock. We're going in. They're fighting with their fists, hammering each other. The left, right, good night from Yeehaw, though. Nevo drops.
Close match. One more hit the other way, and it would have been over. There was not a whole lot of dodging. Can't really do that much as heavy. But, yeah, there we go. Yeehaw takes it. The Rocky music was not enough to secure the victory. And now the question is, who's going to be on red and who's going to be on blue? Are we going to force Harris to swap teams? Like,
yeah,
that was
sorry,
annoying,
Harris.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that would be annoying. I feel like this was something Mac would do on purpose. Don't worry, Harris is in the back. He's already experienced.
I always, whenever I do production and they change teams, whenever I try to like switch players, I just get them all mixed up because, you know, if I want to switch to Mac or something, right, I'll click the blue demo man bind. So it just messes me up so hard. And I fall for it every time. I don't know, I can't unscramble my brain whenever that happens here. So, so now the question is, what's greater, the momentum from winning the first map or the fact that Feint Gaming are just unable to tie every game and come out with 3 points? Which force is stronger?
I have mixed opinions because on one hand I think if you win the first map it can lead to overconfidence or mentally debilitating the other team, so it could go either way, but I reckon this map actually going to go to Ora Elektro. I've got Ora Elektro in my hopes and dreams.
I'm just going to jump right on your bandwagon. I too think that it's fated for Feint to just tie every game. It's just gonna happen. I don't need any more proper reasoning. That's just gonna happen to me.
Looks like we've got our first mid happening here as we've just got even trades coming out already, but Azuna's going to be bombing in. They've got both soldiers in behind, opening up tons of opportunity here for Hugo to get in behind, gets the bomb towards Eames, and Nevo also going down there. Opti's the only casualty from that. Looks like Juxta's way too weak, gets pinged down by a sticky bomb there. It's going to be Vanny playing on this point. They need to sack their players now and try and get on Vanny, otherwise it's going to be a last hold, and it is a full wipe for the side of Ora Elektro, and our predictions are already in the bin.
Yeah, well, it was good while it lasted, which was no time. Okay, well, they're gonna fail this. Don't worry about it. Like, we got Nevo on engineer. It's fine. By the way, Mac just cleaned up so many players on that mid. He just constantly, just whenever people tried to just retreat, he just picked them off, just with those sniper stickies. So there's a really, really, really big Uber advantage coming in here. Like, Juxta is currently on 25%, aka 3 Uber saws away from actually having an Uber. So it comes in from the right side.
They are going to be flashing out, just trying to get onto the sentry gun. The sentry gun going down immediately here. Headshot comes out to Yuho from Amrock on the right-hand side spawn. Voxy's going to be edging the point already. These soldiers going to be moving forwards in towards Voxy, just blocking off that point. They do manage to clean up that player there, and they got some of Mac as well. Clean that frag up. Hugo gets pinged down as well by Nevo. Amrock's on the chase, gets Vanny. A really massive pick there. Opti is now hiding though. From lower, eventually gets seen by Nevo. They know that he's there. He's actually going in towards last here. No,
oh my god, the pain train!
The pain train!
That works. That's kind of taking a book out of Asuna's playbook there. Like taking a page out of that. That's usually what he does, but looks like Opti, like he saved that so hard. Like it almost never works when you hide above the door like that. But he just knew that was the only chance of actually salvaging around, and he took the chance, and it worked out for him. So great play by him. Even though Ora Elektro did a great job of actually holding last.
Yeah, really, really good read coming out from Opti there. Both soldiers going to be bombing it again, but it looks like they are targeting on towards Mac this time around. Hugo's bombing towards Juxta, actually whiffs the rocket, so Juxta there undamaged here, but lots of damage coming out from Mac. Does need an arrow here. Eventually he's going to receive it. Opti also going down there, but no soldiers for the side of Ora Elektro, and no pick onto Demoman or Medic does mean they're going to have to leave.
Yeah, they were a bit too bunched up there, Sooners and Rons. Kind of ended up standing in the same spot and taking a bunch of the same damage, and really unable to put on quite the amount of pressure that they wanted. Looks like Hugh was thinking about jumping in. Looks like he is going to actually do it now. Doesn't Juxta into the air, but Juxta just keeps his eyes on him the entire time and knows that he has gone down. So no panic there. Both soldiers actually do go down there. So as soon as going, oh my god, so aggressive jumping there by Rons. I don't think he expected anyone to be in there. Nice air shot onto Opti by, I think it was Rons. But currently we're just seeing soldiers being thrown in and then immediately being taken down, and we might actually just see some banners going on. Like, I think both Opti and Azunis like playing these banners, but Snakewater is a pretty bad map for it.
I could get behind a banner or two. Looks like Ron's going to be bombing in here towards Vanny. Actually lands on the high ground there. It's going to have to just go in behind, but Opti's on a respawner, so he dies immediately. So unfortunate there for Ron's. Nice little attempt on towards Vanny, but unable to find it. There was a bunch of stuff that happened there that I've got to say, by the way. But Voxy, he's going to do the same thing again. He runs
Opti's
in.
got like the booties on. Like the one that make you turn faster. Yeah,
the man treads.
So you
yes,
like
I love this. He's not going to get denied here. He's just going to walk in and no one's able to deny him. And he kills Eames with it as well. Because no knockback damage wearing those man treads. So very nice stuff from him. Moving in towards Amarok now. Just picking him into a corner. Looks like he's going to eventually have to get used on here. And they use an Uber in return to save Mac. But the flank of Yeho and Hugo is already in here. They pick up Azunis. And Rons is also having to retreat through lobby. Nevo is now separated from the rest of the team. Yeho's going to clean up that frag. They also find Amarok. And this could open up things now, Peter.
Yeah, that was quite the heavy exchange, and it's not quite over yet. They do have their man advantage, but of course they did have to leave a scout behind to cap. Oh my god, Vanny just gets demolished in the shutter door, and now it's just going to be Mac in alone here, desperately trying to make up for it, and oh my god, he is making up for it, take down both soldiers.
Oh no! Juxta gets killed by Yeehaw! Oh, that's so upsetting if you're Juxta there. They have so many players around him, and Yeehaw just comes in, ultimate DMO, but the backup's coming in. Opti does it again, never mind. There's no point talking about the game if Opti's just going to backcap every 3 seconds. I don't even know where he was hiding.
Yeah, there was like this medic pick, and it doesn't matter at all. Like, arguably, it just made it more difficult for Opti because they were like, should we actually push out with the medic down? Whereas, you know, if Juxta was alive, they would have just pushed, and then Opti could have gotten in much easier. But once again, just a sneaky backcap. And currently, you know, if I was Ora Elektro, I would kind of be feeling like this is bullshit. They only win with backcaps.
Yeah, legit, man. They are going to send their soldiers in early again, but they actually play rather passive this time around. A better reactive mid, but they get Juxta immediately here. Vanny is now all alone, though. He's going to surf out towards Sword. Nice little juke from him. Actually hits the B-hop to land into Sora as well. So getting the pick on towards Juxta. Eames also going down now as Opti is currently on the mid. Looks like he's adding Snakewater mid now. Rons, are you going to take this fight, my good sir?
Oh,
he is. He's jumping up. I guess that shot. Never mind.
I was, I don't know, I admire the decision. I know he was behind lines and everything, and he could kind of, he had two choices there. He could play the long con, probably just be useless for a really long time, or he could go for the really, like, uphill battle, and he just decides to just go in there immediately. And yeah, that was just food for the 4K there from Box Tech. Continuing his good form. They're going to go in here. They might have broken Ora Electric Spirit with those back caps here. But we're setting up again. Like, well, they have been good at holding the initial push here. So let's see if they can do that again for a third time.
They're just going to use our super charge straight away. Going to be going onto the sentry gun. Do take it down here. Sticky's currently on point, so do need to be cleared. They're trying to find picks of the Uber, but not finding too much here. Ron's pulling in towards Voxy. Actually gets that pick, and that is a big pick to get as well. Now coming out the spawn door, but a lot of them are all dying here. No Stickies left on point. It seems actually has to use all the Stickies to shoot on towards this soldier that's currently on point. Hugo's just going to stand on it. That's going to be it. 3-0 to the side of Feint Gaming, taking it away with this game.
An actual clean push this time around with the Uber advantage manages to put enough pressure onto the point that it forces everyone to walk in there, and then they are kind of easy pickings there. It took a little while, but eventually the DM prowess there from Feint is just enough to take out the round, and they prove to us and themselves that they can actually win without having Opti back cap for them.
Yeah, the mental warfare is going to be strong with Feint Gaming now. I feel like they should just put some binds in chat whenever they get any amount of picks as well. Really drive the nail into the coffin here. Hugo's bombing in really high. Massive damage in towards the side of Ora Elektro there. And Vanny also getting cleaned up though in low because Nevo just runs in, gets that frag. Hugo going down as well. Looks like Juxta eventually gets cleaned up by Yeehaw on the opposite side of this mid. As Voxy's going to be taking a 1v2, gets killed immediately by Nevo and Amarok here. Amarok is doing such a good job on this mid, just dealing so much damage. Yeehaw though, he's going to be fighting in a 1v2 and actually gets rejoined by Opti here. He's going to jump in, trying to get on top of Amarok here. A lack of focus from both teams as Azuna's going to be jumping up towards the high ground, gets the skill stick out, and everyone's going to feed. Now on a 1v1, Yeehaw versus Amarok, and who's going to win it out? Eames is.
Yeah, that's how we decided to scout 1v1. It's just whoever has the demo that dive first, they can come in and win with the cheaty stickies. But that was one hell of a mid fight. It was very long-winded. Both medics end up dying, so they're both building. I don't think anyone's on crits. And nope, they decided not to do that. I just had to check Vanny there. So it's gonna be just another casual setup here in second, but just as I say that, they're just kind of forcing their way in here on Ora Elektro. Gonna send in a soldier very quickly. Vanny is gonna eat a single rocket, but that's gonna be that. So now maybe it's gonna be Feint's turn to perhaps send in a soldier.
Looks like Opti's moving in, but Voxy immediately getting Des on there because he didn't check the sticks above or call them at all for Opti there, just allowing his scout to feed, it looks like. But now we've got a bit of a reset going on. It looks like Ora Elektro are going to get their spawner here, so looking to send another sack. Azuna's coming in lower, who actually sees the stickies, but Mac doesn't dead them.
He should be so dead.
Yeah, he should be deceased right now. Looks like they're doing the same thing again. Ron's actually jumping in towards Cheese now and gets on top of the Opti. So a nice pick from him. Good damage onto Voxy there in lobby as well, creating so much space here. Azunis is available now for a bomb. Actually decides, my bomb was a bit crap. I'm going to go away now. But looks like Juxta's running on grass, trying to help out Amarok towards this point here. They're going to have to back off here.
The problem is, yeah, Juxta has actually committed to a push in here. And it happened just as they lost the soldier there. So they end up getting caught in way too deep, and they actually have to force and pop to actually get out. So now Vanny's going to have the full Uber advantage, and he's just doing a really good job of dodging all of this spam coming out from the demo man. And oh, that was a very aggressive pop. I don't understand that pop at all. They're going to try and see if they can actually chase them down, but no, nope.
Moxie gets munched by the meat grinder or Electro and lower there. With that one pick, though, I think they're going to be looking to take as much space as they can. They're moving in towards Saw right now. Mac hasn't got Stickies ready for it, so Amarok's just going to be wandering in here. The Stickies have been called, so Jux is going to be wandering in. Actually, he's a little bit of spam on the way in. It's actually going to be pinned in this corner here. He's in a really poor position. But Yeehaw's now flanking onto Azunis, gets that frag onto that soldier. Opti's now going to be bombing in, finds Juxta with that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy as the splash damage makes it happen. And Yeehaw's going for a back cap as well, adding to the mental warfare. Looks like Ron's going down in the back line as well. But they managed to get out of this relatively clean for the side of Ora Elektro. I thought they were going to have way more casualties.
Yeah, they don't have casualties, but they have very little health to go by them. Amarok's super weak. Eames is like sub 70 HP. And there's a single scout here behind with Nebo. He was not full health to start out with. But it looks like he has actually managed to link up with the rest of his team, as they are actually coming out here to try and contest second, and they have successfully done so. So good job there by Nebo. As eventually he's just gonna get bodied by that soldier, just pummeled into the ground, just a rocket-assisted suicide, so to speak.
What's the best thing to counter scouts? Oh yeah, when their jaw hits the concrete, apparently. That's the only thing that seems to be killing these players, but they do pop out the super on side of Feint Gaming, running in towards this bridge here with the advantage they've got. They don't really find too much. They find Eames, and it looks like they might find Rons as well and lower, but not a lot else to speak of, as Jux is coming to 80%. They do get the second cap through, and now the threat of the back cap is there, and there's been a 100% success rate so far on those.
Yeah, I'm like just flying around trying to see if I can check out like behind the blue spawn. Like surely Opti's around there somewhere, right? Like just already. That's what I'm assuming.
He's going in lower. He's going for it. Actually gets bodied there by Nebo. Very nice done from him. Looks like Jackson's actually committed fully in, and Yeehaw here going to be taking 1v2, but the combo, Vanny and Voxy are on last. It's a backup from the combo, not the flank this time around. 4-0.
Oh my god. Or like, so they must be so frustrated at this point. They just keep being just exploited and abused by these back caps just over and over again. I feel like they're trying their damnedest and their very best this time around. I think they just shut down Opti, and they was like, all right, we got him, and then it's just two other more people just going for it. Man, it's rough.
They're going to get a spy on the sort of thing game into back camp next, mark my words. Heading into our next mid, Azunas and Ron's both going in lower together for whatever reason, but the soldiers once again bombing into Eames as the space has been created. By that, Juxta goes down immediately there. Looks like Vanny also died during all of that action, but the scouts of Ora Elektro, Amrock down to 1 HP, eventually going to get cleaned up there by Yeehaw, and it's going to be a full wipe.
Yeah, that was a very interesting decision to send both soldiers behind like that and then in through lower. I don't think I've ever seen that before. They do get Vanny for it, but probably not quite enough. So we got Hugo forward, just baiting for Opti, I think, but Opti decides not to go for it. He was only on about like 50% health, so not the most health to work with there. But it is a classic to kind of hide in that corner and hope that nobody actually checks their corners.
This time, Rons.
Oh no.
Ron's just ate 8 stickies to the face. Mac put every sticky on that door. He really didn't want anyone coming through that door at all. Eames here in lobby though is going to be just pressuring with these pipes here, and he hasn't actually got any stickies set up for Eames currently. I think he's just going to be layering a few down in front of him so he doesn't get bombed here. But relatively even Uber situation. Amrock currently up on the sniper for the defense, so we're going to see what they can do here on the side of Ora Elektro and see if they can't make a push out of last happen after this push happens from Feint Gaming.
Yeah, I don't even know like why the push would happen from Feint Gaming. Like they have plenty of time. I think they should just send in the soldier. It looks like that's what they're doing.
Oh, good lord! That was disgusting. They get the force out. Juxta got a headshot with a rocket, and there was not a lot he could do. But it looks like Azuna's pinged up into the skybox, nearly directed on the counter there. But the bomb comes in, massive damage for a Mac, and they're just going to stick it off this point here. Voxy's actually going to start playing it. The rest of the players going to be bombing in here, trying to get as much damage down as they can. Mac on a 4K, 5K even currently. It's just going to receive all of the arrows in the world. Eames goes down, Neva goes down, Cat goes through. It's 5-0, and that's going to be the match.
The momentum carried on from Viaduct, it looks like. So big congratulations to Feint Gaming. They will not tie this one 3-3 in terms of points. So they'll take the full 6 points there, and that should bring them very up near the top in the scoreboards. I think they're still behind Nerd Rage, but I'm not quite sure. It kind of depends on who have played games and so on. But yeah,
I mean, so far my prediction for the season has been correct. In terms of what I thought the matchups would be, and this is a very rare thing. The one team that has surprised me the most has been Garda Pantery overall. And what was your prediction at the start of the season in terms of this table?
I think I said Nerd Rage, Feint, top 5, Global Clan, Bus Crew, Coffin Clan, whatever that was called, and then Garda at the very bottom. If I remember correctly.
Well, it's close, but Nerd Rage, yeah, no surprises. They're sitting at the top of the table here. Feint Gaming following closely in behind, and top 5 Rocket on their tail, and Ora Elektro now going to be. This should drop them beneath the line after this week, I think, because Global Clan, I think they have a decent official coming up. Where they should win on that one, so that should change. But we have got some logs here, Beta, if you want to look at them. But oh god, it tells a tale.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know. I mean, Eames did well, right? He top damage. That's worth something. But yeah, usually when demo men are defending a lot, they actually tend to out damage everyone else. So it's not actually a good thing to just have your demo men have really good damage there. But yeah, he kind of got after it. 17-6. That's very good. And oh boy, actually, I thought Juxta would have died way more than Vanny. Like, both mags actually died quite a lot, considering it was a 5-0 roll. And poor Azunas, man, 4-12.
Yeah. I think all of Vanny's deaths, though, were just like counter-sacks on mid-fights. He seemed to survive everything else, and not really a lot really managed to pick him up in this game. But I feel like the biggest issue I think Ora Elektro had was the mid-fights. Both soldiers committed to the exact same play. Like, they spent so much time actually off the mid that it bought Feint Gaming space to just walk into the enemy team and get the mid easy peasy. So offering them up like as sacrifices by walking them both through kitchen just takes way too long.
Yeah, that mid was definitely not very good. But even when they did, like, I'll give them credit on Ora Elektro for like, they definitely sent the soldiers into the same spot. Like, they were always ready to follow up on each other's damage. It was just actually a bit too bunched up at times, and think did a really good job of actually walking forward and using the space to make sure that the sorters were actually behind them. So it wasn't as damaging as it could have been to have those two sorters in there because they made sure not to clump up and they finished them off pretty quickly. So it didn't quite work out the way that the Ora Elektro did. And then they had no good answers to the back caps, it just seems. Like 3 of these rounds are just back caps, and 2 of them were really brutal.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add to this game. It just seemed like a total outclass here from Faint Gaming. I know that Ora Elektro have a lot more in them, and this may have been just a rough week for them. I mean, it does happen for teams every now and again. Teams just seem to have rough time periods where they just seem to flop for 1 week, but I'm fairly certain they'll be back in force again. Ora Elektro have looked very confident in a bunch of their games, so I'm excited to see them going forwards. Maybe Azuna's just had a very terrible day or something. But in terms of the games that are coming up, for, as I was mentioning before, a pretty good game should be Garden Panzer versus Global Clan EU, which is going to be happening on the 22nd in 2 days' time. So get ready for that one, ladies and gentlemen. It should be a blast of a game.
Yeah, that should be really good. I'm trying to find the schedule here. Right. Yeah, so it's Ora Elektro versus Top 5 Rocket on this Thursday. I guess they were behind a little bit. And then it's Global Clan versus Garda. That's also on Thursday. And then Sunday is Nerdrit versus Bus Crew. So, yeah. Like, Ora Elektro versus Top 5 Rocket should be very interesting to see. Because kind of judging where Top 5 Rocket is this season has been very hard. Because did you see Top 5 Rocket versus Garda Pantry?
Yeah.
Like on Golly Watch. What happened? Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like everyone's brains just fell out. It was like so weird to see. It was the biggest flow.
Activate the DM war, I feel like, is what happened during that map. I have genuinely no. I feel like it was oversight from Top 5 Rocket. You know where I said, they can get overconfident?
Yeah.
Because they 5-0'd them on Granary, they thought, it's going to be easy 5 on Gully, we should just stop trying. And then they lose the map.
Yeah, and they were up like 3 or 4-0, and then they just kind of stop playing and make a ton of mistakes and lose individual fights, and then it's just a whole bunch of momentum rolling, and then they just lost. So I kind of feel like it was a one-off.
Yeah, not to mention as well that Milky on demo. Oh my, or Milky is the next top EU demo, man. This man fucks. Like, I don't know, man. He just does so much damage every single game. But enough about that. We'll stop boring you, ladies and gentlemen. So, any shouts from you, B, that you want to throw out there?
I guess I will just throw out that I have the demo call for the season on ETF2L. If you go to the ETF2L website, you can see the thread there. Like, it should be in recent threads. And it is any frag you get from an official match, I will accept that. Doesn't matter what your level is. So that's something you can do for yourself. And then other than that, no, just thank you for casting with me tonight, and big shout out to Harris for doing production.
Harris, any shouts from you, sir? I will just say them for you. Harris has no shout outs because he hates you all. That's what I've taken away from that. Shouts to you, Peter and Harris, for joining me this evening. Shouts to the Bus Crew as well, Bus Crew Black. Shouts to Crew Panda. Shouts to Crockett and Sega and Lucas and Lloyd and all the rest of the chaps in the Polly's Pad. So cheers, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in this evening, and we'll catch you the rest of this week. Bye, guys.